recording.
Great. Well, Bob, thank you again for meeting us today
Sure.
and helping us conduct our study. So, if we could just start with some basic questions, could you say your name, age, and your current involvement in Western athletics?
I feel like I'm in the police station. Bob Viggers, and I'm 69, and my career at Western began in 1968. So this fall, I'll begin my 46th year here,
Mhm.
but it's going to end in December. I'm going to retire in December.
Wow,
Yeah, so
congratulations.
you got me at the right time.
So how long have you been coaching and teaching throughout your entire lifetime?
Well, this has basically been my life, really. I mean, when I was, I had one other year of coaching, but I was only a assistant coach. I was a grad student, so one other year. So really, it'll be 45 years so far. Well, 46 if I count that other year as a grad student,
Mhm.
but 45 years here with my 46th year to start in September.
Wow. So how many hours a week do you devote to coaching?
Well, in season,
Mhm.
coaching is a bit more than just being at the practice, because our training sessions are, from stem to stern, maybe 2 hours or so a day. Um, but there's other things you're doing before the practice, maybe preparing recording forms or whatever, going over what you're going to do. So in the season, I've never really put the number of hours to it. I don't know, but you're basically in season. You're involved pretty well 7 days a week, even though not a lot on the Sunday. But then, if we have some big trips like we do in cross country, Sunday we're probably traveling, coming back home from some far off place like Chicago or Montreal or Kentucky or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Um,
you're just mixing that in with all your other stuff.
okay. And then how much time do you devote to your own personal physical activity?
None.
None. All right.
Yeah. Um, I'm terrible
Mhm.
at doing anything on a regular basis. I've been a hit and miss all my life. Well, when I say all my life, for the last number of decades at least,
Mhm.
where I just do whatever I have to do on a given day, but I don't go out and say, "Oh, I gotta go do a workout." Once in a while,
Right.
I'll say, "You know what? I better start doing some workout again." I'll get going for a little while, then.
So I guess that's not you considering, because I remember from the course Games of Law Organization,
Yeah,
you were active with our class. So
yeah,
so that's beyond that classroom activity. You're saying
yeah.
then it's no
That's
more,
it.
but okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, my next activity is walking back from the classroom to my office. And then during the fall I'll be on my bike to go to cross country practice. But so I'm
Yeah.
getting daily activity, but it's just more or
Right.
less through my job per se, as opposed to being a diligent person that says, "Let's get out there and do a good workout."
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard of the saying acting your age?
Yes.
So when you act your age, where do you take your cues from?
How I feel. Absolutely how I feel. And sometimes, and the environment will certainly influence me too. So, if anything, I tend to act under my age than my age, because I've been surrounded for 4 decades and more. My life basically is surrounded by, I've been living with 20-somethings
Mhm.
for most of my life, and that does influence you, absolutely. But even if I'm not around school, yeah, I can still be silly. So, if anything, I'm not acting my age very well.
All right. And how do you think your age influences how you feel about your body?
Oh, I think it's not just a number. It is really what you can do and can't do. So I love being around young people. But what I have been very much reminded of as I gotten older, that I can't do what I used to be able to do. So even with you guys in that games class, there's a lot of things I would like to do, but I just know I can't do anymore. I mean, I'd be always it if I played tag. But there was a time when no one was going to catch me. And I'm going to be the best non-it guy. I'll jump over walls, whatever. So I'm reminded, and plus, and when you coach young athletes, even more so, you're reminded of how live and explosive and fluid the young body is, and how you don't have that anymore. So, yeah, your age. I'm not sure it's just your age, but obviously incapacities or lack of capacity does come with age. You know, you definitely lose your fast twitch fibers, you know, so that you can't move quickly. Some injuries have gotten in the way where my throwing pattern isn't what it could be. You know, I always thought I could throw nicely, and I mean, if I want to go out and play a game of tennis, I can play a pretty good game, but I can't really do a good serve. I have to serve underhand. So yeah, you're reminded of your fallibilities and your immortality.
Okay, so thinking back to when you were 21, how did you feel about aging then?
Well, it's funny when I saw that question, because I'm a weird guy, and I was depressed when I turned 21. Because the first thought that came to me, because this is back in the old days, right? When maybe, no, I guess it's all, I'm not sure when you become legal age for everything. My first thought was, damn, now I'm an adult, now I can be sued. You know, now I'm held accountable for everything. So 21 was not good. I was depressed at 21, and I was depressed at 33. And after that, it didn't really get to me. I'm not really sure what 33 was, but nevertheless. Some of those young ages when people think, hey man, I was going, oh shit.
So thinking to the future when you're 85,
Yeah.
how do you think you'll feel about aging then?
I'm going, holy shit. I mean, part of the reason why I'm retiring, and this all came up just in the last month, because I finally said to myself, I'm old. Because I forgot that I'm old. And, you know, when people say, oh no, you don't act old. It doesn't matter how you act. You know, when I turned 69 last month, I said, 11 years from now, I'm going to be 80. That's a big number. You know, even 60 is a big number. So these numbers are getting big. And you think, wow, you know, and then you read stuff that are saying, you know, by the time they're 80, this is when the healthcare system is really taxed, and people have to be I'm thinking, wow, I hope the hell I make it to 80. So, I don't know. I just hope I can at least do close to what I can do now. I mean, I'm really lucky that I can still do most of the things I want to do, but obviously there's a lot of things I used to be able to do that I can't, not to any appreciable degree. I mean, I can fake it for a second, make it look good for a second, but that's not it. So, that's a good question, and I don't know, but I do see a lot of 85-year-old people that are doing just fine, and my parents both lived to their mid-90s, not well in their final years, but I think when they were in their 80s, they were still getting around pretty good. So, hoping I'll be okay.
Sounds good. So do you have any stories or examples that you feel really defined your aging experience?
Yeah, but they're all about my incapacities. Um, I'll never forget a number of years ago, because I've always lived close to campus, and I lived on Sunset for many years in the ghetto. And I remember one time I heard this noise outside.